Good afternoon to the good people. Good afternoon to the bad people, friends and enemies. Afternoon, boom, shakalaka to you all. I am Chris Bass. This is the Precursor. The Precursor comes on when CBI is on the shelf, and it's on the shelf for right now. So we have the Precursor. The Precursor, of course, is what's going to happen before the show. This is before baseline. So the Precursor, catch it when we can. So right now, of course, is right here in living color for you to see and to hear, and all the above. It's on right now, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And of course, baseline on Fridays the same time. So again, just trying to be connected to you or wanting you to be well where you are, obviously. Or else we wouldn't do the show at all. Oh, Barbara Jean, how you doing? Barbara Jean, thank you as always for the right to share. I caught that when I was getting my notes together for the program. Thank you, Barbara Jean, as always. Wednesday afternoon greetings to you as well. Thank you so much. Oh man, sit back and just you know, um, let's see. Let me go here real quick. What's up, Mr. Collins? Eric Collins, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see your face in the place. How you doing, man? I like Eric because not only is he just good people, who I could tell online. I mean, he called in once on the program when I was doing baseline. The fact that he likes cigars, and cigars are coming back to me. I had to stop for a while. My birthday's coming up next month, and I want to give me a nice stogie. I want to get a nice stogie. So I'm looking at a few Chow Brasilia has become one of my favorite. I've not smoked cigars in a while. But for my birthday, I'm thinking about getting a nice, I haven't decided how many I'm going to get. I got to get another humidor and things like that. But I would love to have a nice stogie on my birthday, stogie and a nice glass of yak, whatever the yak would be. Let's see, I don't know, maybe some, I don't know, maybe both. Because some people like to mix brown or light liquor. I drink if I can. So I don't care what liquor it is, so it can be both. I don't discriminate. So tequila was my favorite, but I might have some bourbon for the stogie too. So yeah, I gotta play it by ear. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a nice cigar for my birthday. So I always see Eric on there from time to time with a nice stogie. Well, Regina, also on, of course, on the Facebook Live. So this was Facebook Live here, and over here is the Chris Base channel with a period at the end, all one word on YouTube. So he types on here, hey, Professor, hey there, Professor Base, and hey there, everybody else. Nice. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So I once again thank everybody for coming on. So you got Jameson's good. Jameson's good, and cigar. A good friend of mine, Ken Smith, loves Jameson. So yeah, you remind me of him when you mentioned about Jameson. So yeah, I decided what kind yet, what kind of tequila I would get or a whiskey, but yeah, that's going to be kind of nice. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see, make sure I got everything here. So yeah, that has come to my mind a few times to get a good start. I was smoking a while. I had to stop because of my health. And off and on, I might have a stogie over the years. And I had my heart surgery in July of 2015. And last month had marked 10 years since my heart surgery. So I've been decent. I've been pretty good. I haven't got on back on that heavily because I was a weekend smoker. I didn't smoke during the week because I worked during the week. I wanted to focus. But yeah, I smoked on the weekends, had a nice beer to go along with it. And well, yeah, based upon health reasons, I was had to stop and do it periodically, like my birthday. So I'm looking forward to that. In the news, an Army sergeant is in custody after he allegedly used a personal handgun to shoot 5 fellow soldiers this morning at the Fort Smith military base in Georgia, according to base officials. Brigadier General John Lubas, the commanding general of the 3rd Infantry Division, identified the suspect shooter as Cornelius Radford. Quote, we're still not certain about the motivation, he said at a news conference. The 5 wounded soldiers are in stable condition and are expected to have a full recovery. Fort Stewart trains and deploys active and reserve Army units is about 40 miles southwest of Savannah. Now, the soldier accused of carrying out the shooting there at Fort Stewart today will not be charged and tried like a normal civilian. He now falls under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, a completely different justice system than everyone else, civilian wise, a person has. Under this code, or UCMJ, the military has its own judges and prosecuting counsels, and branches have separate investigative agencies and police. Soldiers accused of the most serious crimes may face a court martial, which is similar to a civilian criminal trial. The suspect, again, Cornelius Radford, is in a pretrial confinement. He has been interviewed by the Army Criminal Investigative Division and is waiting to be charged by the Office of the Special Trial Counsel, according to, again, Brigadier General John Lubas. If convicted of a serious crime, Radford could be imprisoned at a military prison. Let's see. How you doing? Omar says, "Hello, Chris. Happy Wednesday. It's big news here in Georgia. I heard about what happened. I was getting back from Walgreens to put up my medicine when I saw the news. Right. So where are you, Omar? As how far is this military base from you? Because you live in Georgia. So what city do you live in Georgia, and how far is it from you? Because I was reading about how they want to make sure that the area is safe in a certain mile radius, even though they have the suspect now. But during real time, want to make sure that there weren't any accomplices, and we still don't know if there are any accomplices or was he the lone shooter in this situation. So, how far is this military base from where you are? Once again, Fort Stewart in Georgia. 'Cause I thought about you when I was reading the story, because of course you live there in Georgia. Again, let's see. More news. 2 of the victims at Fort Stewart were taken to the Memorial Health Center, Medical Center in Savannah. 3 others were treated at the Army Hospital, all in stable condition, are expected to recover. Officials ID'd, again, 28-year-old Sergeant Cornelius Radford from Jacksonville, Florida, as the shooting suspect. He's an active duty soldier assigned to the 2nd Brigade Combat Team at Fort Stewart, Georgia, with no combat history. The suspect joined the Army in 2018 as an automatic logistical specialist. Officials are not aware of any prior behavioral issues involving Radford. He is alive and then once again in pretrial confinement. Radford was arrested in May at a traffic stop for driving under the influence. The suspect allegedly used a personal handgun in the attack, and fellow soldiers immediately tackled the soldier, subdued him from the attack. The suspect was apprehended at 11:35 a.m. local time, nearly 40 minutes after shots were fired. The motive behind the shooting is still unclear. So Omar types, I live Warner Robbins, I think, is really far from us. Okay, I was trying to get it kind of like a miles, but we'll take what we can get. So yeah, there you go. So when you look at these type of crimes happening, and the suspect is African American, it goes back to, again, and we've had these type of crimes unfortunately throughout our living in our timeline. But the way the world is right now, could be a lot of conspiracies. It could be. We don't know. We just got the story. The story is still taking shape. Once again, the motive behind the shooting is still unclear of why. And prayers and thoughts go out to the victims who were shot there. I'm glad that he was subdued and taken into custody. But again, as I stated, that the military has a whole separate judicial system than civilian life. So we will see what happens with that. Your take on that? How do you feel about that? I think again, when these things happen, and we'll find out later the motive of why. Just why? And do you feel safe in this country? I ask you that question. You can call in at 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106 to call in. And do you feel safe in this country? Or you can type in the comment section if you like. Um, Me personally, I do feel safe, but there could be evil fractions around me. I put it like that. That bothers me the most. When the I guess access of evil is in our midst, and it's kind of hard to shake off. Me personally, I just always tell you know your surroundings. A former Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, employee was beaten in an attack carjacking in Washington, D.C. this week, and Trump said prompting him to renew his threats to take control of the nation's capital, according to multiple news reports. The victim, Edward Korenstein, 19 years old software engineer, nicknamed Big Balls, was assaulted early Sunday by a group of teenagers attempting to carjack him and a woman whom police identified as him significant other, according to the Associated Press. Two 15-year-olds have been arrested in connection with the attempted carjacking and the beating. Elon Musk, who headed Doge efforts while working in the government, confirmed the attack in his post on X. A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C., Musk said on the post. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he survived her. But he saved her. Trump on Tuesday called for the District of Columbia to change the laws to allow for teenagers 14 and older to be prosecuted as adults and face lengthy prison sentences. Trump shared on Truth Social a graphic image of the bloodied former Doge employee, but it did not name Korenstein. Posting a lengthy message railing against violent crime in Washington, which has decreased in recent years. Trump blamed the city's crime on local youths who he said were not fearful of the consequences. They are not afraid of law enforcement because they know nothing would ever happen to them. But it's going to happen now. He posted, the law in D.C. must be changed to prosecute these minors as adults, lock them up for a long time, starting at age 14. The most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs. Washington, D.C. must be safe, clean, and beautiful for all Americans, and importantly, for the world to see. If D.C. doesn't get its act together and quickly, we will have no other choice but to take federal control of the city and run the city how it should be run, and put most criminals on notice that they are not going to get away with it anymore. Now, crime in D.C. was down 35% from 2024 from the previous year, marking a 30-year low. The data from the district shows violent crime is also down so far in 2025 compared with its previous year. Trump has repeatedly threatened to take control of Washington throughout his second term and has spoke at length about his desire to rid the crime of the homeless population. Okay, so when you look at this particular crime, and again on True Social, I don't believe anything Trump says, but let's go along with it for the time being. So on True Social, he goes on this diatribe about what's going on in the crime that's going on in, in DC. It's been down from that perspective, and all he wants to do is put his mark on it, federalize it, and everything goes to him, so he could be in charge of now policing, not only in DC, but probably the whole world. I mean, look at the study. Got to start somewhere. Let's see. Hey, how you doing, Lisa? Good afternoon, Base Nation. How you doing, Lisa? Thank you for being here. How's your afternoon going? So in DC, if crime is down 35% in 2024 from the previous year, marking again a 30-year low, and the data from the district shows violent crimes is also down in 2025 compared to the previous year, then what are you talking about? 47. What are you talking about? Again, this dictatorship that he's on, he just wants a form of controlling everything. That's pretty. I mean, I mean, look, we have obviously crime here in Chicago. That's impressive. For DC, for its crime to be down 35%, I wish we were 35%. Going back when I had Pastor on, when I have him on, and shout out to Pastor. I know he's going through a lot right now. He mentioned about his MRI on his social media page on Facebook. But shout out to him. I hope he's doing well. When we have him on every Friday, what he's going through, street pastor, they're helping people going through all this trial and tribulation of crime on the street, people getting shot and murdered here in Chicago and DC, 35%. That's impressive. How you doing, Jed? From the rooftop yesterday, wanting to go Judge Dredd on DC over big balls getting turned up. Bizarro land, like you say. Greetings, Base Nation, unhinged. Thank you, Jed. And Jed, of course, is going through the Chris Base channel, all one word, period, and then adding the channel. It is Bizarro World. I told you I'm a big fan of comic books out, and I was a big fan of Superman over time, but yeah, Bizarro World, yeah, hell yeah. Hell yes, and hell yeah. Let's get this straight. Let's go back to what 47 said on True Social. He put the picture of a bloodied young man, but did not name the name. Now you would think that someone like that who allegedly got beat up and bloody, that you would make sure that everybody knows this person's name. Big balls. Yeah. That's mature. Yeah, but he's like 18, 19. I'm not saying his action got what he got, but it's hard to believe what's going on nowadays. You would think that if you're trying to promote the fact that there's so much violence in the world, this person on this page, on this picture, this is his name, but no indication of his name. So how do we know if it's real or not? It's hard to believe sometimes what's going on here. It makes no damn sense. I mean, you want to believe it, and I hope the young man gets healed. But in today's society, especially with him at the helm, meaning 47, Exactly, Jed. Thoughts to Pastor D. Absolutely. Thank you for putting it out there. What's up, Lydell? How you doing, man? Good to see you. One of my favorite people. How you doing, Doctor? Thank you for being here. How's your afternoon? How's it going, man? So you want to blame the city crimes on local youths there in D.C. I don't even think he mentioned Big Balls by name. I could be wrong. Maybe you saw a different press conference that I have seen. I've not seen him mention the person's uh, his real name or nickname or whatever the hell. I've not seen that at all. Dean Cain, who starred as the Man of Steel in ABC TV series Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman from 1993-97, has announced that he has joined ICE to support 47's illegal immigration crackdown. Yep. Kane 59 told social media on Tuesday to announce the news to his followers in a video post that played like a one-man recruitment drive. The actor opened about telling his followers, "For those who don't know, I am a sworn law enforcement officer as well as being a filmmaker. And I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up." He thinks he's Superman for real. He continued, "He is here's your opportunity to join ICE. You can earn lots of great benefits and pay." Since President Trump took office, ICE has arrested hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, you name it, very dangerous people who are no longer on the streets. Kane then reeled off a list of perks recruiting you can benefit from. You can enjoy this. You can defend your homeland and get great benefits like a $50,000 signing bonus. Think about that. Student loan repayment, legally enhanced retirement benefits, and special for those in the field operation and law enforcement roles. Like they're all good in the hood. Yeah, man. Good to hear. Thank you. Going back to Dean Kane. You also don't need a undergraduate degree. You can get to work right away. So if you want to help America, ICE is arresting the worst of the worst and removing them from America's streets. I like that. I voted for that. They need your help. We need your help to protect our homeland for families. So join today if you have something that tickles your fancy, uh, because we can use you. What's it? Tickle your fancy, excite your soul. Kane's video comes a week after Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem issued a press release telling Americans your country is calling you to serve at ICE. Your country needs dedicated men and women of ICE to get the worst of criminals out of our country. Okay, all right. Let me say this. I used to watch the show back in the day with Dean Cain playing Superman. I thought it was a good show. This is way before his politics. And sometimes for me, it's hard to separate the politics from the person. Sometimes. And there are times when I can and cannot. It shouldn't matter what your political affiliations are, but in the times we're living in now in particular, even before that, like one of my favorite actors is Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood. I still love his work. The Dirty Harry days, his spaghetti westerns before that. Gran Torino, to me, I think is his best work. Writer, director of a lot of movies and everything else. He's Republican. A lot, of course, Republicans out there that work in Hollywood. And so going back to Dean Cain, who I used to watch the show, um, I'm not too cool with this. I'm not. I'm fuck it. Barbara Jean, he's lost me as a fan. Yeah, yeah, me too. Before all this ice shit, I recently saw him online. It was like a side promotion to the new Superman movie that had come out, and so all the former actors who played Superman that are still with us had come together for it was like a press conference. Like they came out to one of those Comic Cons I saw online. So yeah, it was him, Tom Welling from Smallville, Brandon Roof, who played Superman Returns and things like that. So that was pretty nice. Nice to see one of the actors come together to support the Man of Steel and the character they portrayed over the time. But yeah, damn shame. The damnedest of shame. How you doing, Diane? Oh no, just joining. Googling Dean Cain. Yeah, go on and Google his ass. Yeah, go ahead. Uh, what was the movie he did? Out of Time with Denzel Washington. Played a good heavy. I liked him. Liked him in that. I like him in that a lot. Sanaa Lathan, Dean Cain. I liked him in that. But again, can you separate the actor and his or hers or whatever politics? Can you do that? Again, it's their business. They can be what they want to be. I'm not knocking them that. I just think that with this thing with the whole ICE stuff, no, I can't. I can't get on board. And like I said before, there are times when I can separate it, and times I can't. And this time, you gotta go, Doc. Pack you up. You gotta go. Pack his ass up. I can't. I can never. So let's see. There was a quick story on local news here, ABC 7, Chicago, about Jesse Jackson Jr. running for the office, running for his former congressional seat. So he made the formal announcement today. It was a quick vote. A quick story on ABC 7 Chicago here. A return to Washington. Formal announcement and introduction. Jesse Jackson Jr. Exploratory Committee for Congress in 2026. Once again, he's currently doing a talk show that is based out of L.A. The station is owned by Tavis Smiley. So that's what he's doing right now. But now he wants to get back into it from the standpoint of getting into politics again. I know a lot of people running for that seat. He joined ICE. He's encouraging people to sign for a $50,000 signing bonus too. Yeah, just read the story, Diane. Yeah, he's out there recruiting. Are some of these actors paid to do this, to be on the side of 47? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. It's not like people are knocking on Dean Cain's door, as far as I know. I am not my Dean Cain keeper, but I haven't seen him in a lot of crap. I haven't seen him in anything. I had to go back to stuff he did before. So the recent stuff he did with the former actors who played Superman a few months ago. Other than that, I don't know anything else that he did as of recent time. Yes, KBLA. Thank you, Barbara Jean, out there in Los Angeles. Yes, owned by Tavis Smiley. Yeah, that's a whole different conversation right there. So yeah, going back to once again, how we roll here. The Jesse Jr. thing fascinates me because he served his time. What he did with his money and things like that, went to prison. His wife, Sandy, went to prison too. In fact, they had to alternate because they had young children then. So somebody to stay at home. So yeah, Jesse Jr. doing time and then going back to his wife, Sandy Jackson, who me personally, I did not care for at all. Why? Because I used to live in the seven, in Alderman, automatic Ward 7, and I had accessibility to my former alderman, William Beavers. Say what you want about William Beavers, but I had no problem with the man. He was very kind to me, kind to my family. Knew my dad. So when years later, it's Sandy Jackson. Every time, I kid you not, every time I went to her office, she wasn't there. Every time. That makes no damn sense. So that means you're not even earning your check. You're just, just an empty suit, got an empty office, just getting a check. Wants to get a rep or just getting a check. Barbara Jean, some actors are close to being broke, but Dean Cain ain't broke. Perhaps he wants to remain relevant. In that way, I'm not knocking what you're saying, Barbara Jean. I just think in that way want to be relevant. Everybody got social media. Get on your own shit and be relevant without that. I don't need that shit. Unless, again, talking about being relevant, unless the people over there, 47, maybe his people up there, the White House is paying your ass. Maybe they're giving you a check. Because to me, you want to be relevant, you can go on your own social media page, be guest on other people's podcasts and things like that. You could be relevant without this, without being a member of ICE, for Christ's sake. I think he's getting a check. That's the only way I can see it. That's the only way, because this makes no sense at all. Once again, do what you want to do. It just, ICE? We ain't talking about Vanilla Ice back in the day. We're talking about Ice Baby. Far from it. I haven't thought about him in years, Barbara Jean Tice. Well, see, there you go. See, it depends on obviously the person or persons who see what's going on. Hey, what's up, Rachel? Yeah, get that check, man. You get that check, man. Yeah, I'm here to pick up my check. Yeah, that's what it is. I look. I do not begrudge anybody getting paid. I mean, do what you got. As long as you do it legally and you don't try to get into my pockets or to steal what little bit I have or you come up with lint, do what you got to do. But when I think, again, let's go back to Dean Cain and what we're talking about here, that you pissed off a lot of your fandom because of your association with ICE, now being an ICE baby member, and encouraging other people to join ICE at $50K and things like that, telling them they can pay off their student loans and things like that. It's campaigning. That's how it looks to me. Diane Tice, white privilege. I go along there too. I just think, again, this whole recruitment of ICE thing is kind of, my spidey sense is tangling. I don't tingle, I tangle. My spidey sense is tangling. That's all. And that's all I'm saying. It just kind of, it's just, the whole thing smells funky. It really does. When will we learn? When will we learn? Ooh-wee. You have the time to call in, 312-597-2106. Again, catch me on YouTube, the Chris Space channel, all one word, period, channel. Also on Facebook Live as we bring you the Precursor. House Republican Representative Mike Flood faced what appeared to be a hostile crowd during a rowdy town hall on Monday night in Lincoln, Nebraska. The crowd erupted within just minutes of the start of the forum, shouting out and heckling at the congressman. He touted 47's massive bill and policy that was just signed into law July, that big, beautiful bullshit. I know this is probably going to be met with some resistance. I want the opportunity to tell you that I talked to you about health care in the bill we just passed. I want to go right into this bill because I know this is something a lot of people have questioned about. And quite frankly, where I sit, there's been a lot of misinformation out there about the bill, Flood said to the crowd, which received loud boos from the audience. Do me a favor, hold on one second. Hang on. I was talking to my nephew, so forgive me. I had to pause the cause right there. Going back to Flood, he tried to walk the audience through key health care provisions and the mega bill, but continuously drowned out with raucous crowd and boos. The only way we're going to get through tonight is if I get a chance to tell you why I voted, because ultimately I represent you and you will have your say. The mega bill's impact on Medicaid was the main topic brought up at the town hall, which angered the audience. So there's a question. Do you think that people are 28 years old that can work and refuse to work should get free health care? Flood asked, which received an unfriendly response from the crowd. I don't think a majority of Nebraskans agree with you. The congressman argued that while Medicaid benefits were not cut, the changes to the program don't involve anybody that's disabled, that's if of senior age and unable to work, anybody that's pregnant or vulnerable. When asked by an audience member how the congressman can justify taking away health care from Nebraskans, Flood brushed off the concern. We have a state where our infrastructure is going to be supportive, is going to be funded, and is going to be available for the people that need it. If you are able to work and you're 28 years old and you choose not to work, you don't get free health care in America. If you are in this country illegally, you do not get free health care in America. That's not what the person was asking you, Representative Flood. What these politicians do, they deflect, they give you the high stroke, stiff arm. This is what they do. I applaud the people who are going to these town hall meetings. I even applaud the representatives trying to go out there and save face. You can't save face on this one. You can try, but you come up with nothing. Goose egg, again, lint, zero, zilch, nothing. You can't talk your way out of this one. You can't moonwalk. You can't do not a goddamn thing. Not at all. Can you feel it? Nothing can save you, for this is the season of catching the vapors. Can you feel it? Can you, like the Jackson said, can you feel it? Can't talk your way out of this one. Now, the people who voted for Representative Flood, again, have to feel used and abused. Turned out like a $2 hole. You got to feel that way. Now, $2 hole, what are you prepared to do? That's the line I remember from the movie The Untouchables. Sean Connery, Kevin Costner, and Sean Connery character told Elliot Ness, played by Kevin Costner, what are you prepared to do? It's about fighting Al Capone. He said, you got to go all the way with these. You got to go all the way with these bastards. You got to go all the way with it. So going back to the people who voted for Flood, and now they're realize that their $2 wholeness, what they have left, have been used and abused. Now, what are you prepared to do? Going to these town hall meetings, I think is a good start. I think again to face these people, whether it's the representative, whether it's the politician to the constituents to the politicians, it's a good face off. Let their voice be heard. What I hate, I told you from day one, is that when some people get loud from the standpoint of, oh, hell, I give a perfect example. And I come back to my point. When I do my show Baseline and Gus calls in, you can feel the pain in this man's voice when he calls in. You can feel it. This man is suffering. This man was a veteran to this country, served in the Vietnam War. Yet he can't get good service from Medicaid, Medicare, and it's about to be gutted out through this big, beautiful bullshit bill. And when he calls in and he's shouting, I don't know the man that well. I just know him when he calls in. That's how I know him through the years of supporting this show. And there's nothing I can do to help him. I might have to start trying to do something from the standpoint of, and I did this with similarly on a side note with Corey, who was Lee Michaels' son, who got in that horrible car accident and needs money for medical supplies and skin grafts and things like that. He's still on the mend. I don't know, maybe do a fundraiser for Gus. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I have to really think about that. But see, what happens with that is when you try to help one person and other people come out of the woodwork, you got to help me too, help me too. I can't help everybody. I wish I could. Let me think on that. Because if I could help Gus, other people who need help with their medical situation, let me think on that. I need to really reach out to people. Because usually what happens over the years is the people that I reach out to in those situations, they need help. Remember the episode of Good Times when Ramona was working at the department store and she was the security worker? You know, she had the on the other side of the glass where the women would come and change clothes, and her boss was being watched, and that boss was being watched, and so it was like the watchers are being watched. So the people who I knew had power and had power, now they're powerless. From the standpoint they don't work anymore or they don't have the connects like they used to. Hey, what's up, Lorenzo? What's up, man? Give what you can. Each one reach one within your limits. It's okay to do it that way. Yeah, Lorenzo, I feel you. I feel you on that one. I'm really thinking about starting something like a fundraiser. That's really now that I sit here and think about it. Yeah, I gotta marinate some more. I mean, you got a little. Maybe I reach out to you, Lorenzo, and you know some people. So if we help each other from that perspective, maybe we can. So yeah, I go along. Thank you, Lorenzo, for that. And again, going back to these people go to these town hall meetings, it's a start. And start confront these people because you vote them in office. You put them there. Let them hear you. What I don't like again is when we have people out there in the audience and then here comes somebody like Ice baby, or look like Ice, whatever, so security, and they haul them out because they can't speak their minds. I hate that. It's beyond sick at this stage of the game. The Department of Health and Human Services will cancel contracts and pull funding for some vaccines that are being developed to fight respiratory viruses like COVID-19 and the flu. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced in a statement Tuesday that 22 projects totaling $500 million to develop vaccines using mRNA technology will be halted. Kennedy's decision to terminate the projects is the latest in a string of decisions that put the longtime vaccine critic doubts about shots into full effect at the nation's health department. Kennedy goes on to say that he has pulled back recommendations around the COVID-19 shots, fired the panel that makes vaccine recommendations, and refused to offer a rigorous endorsement of vaccines as a measles outbreak worsened. The health secretary criticized mRNA vaccines in a video on social media, explaining the decision to cancel projects being led by the nation's leading pharmaceutical companies, Pfizer and Moderna, that offer protection against viruses like the flu, COVID 19, and H5N1. To replace the troubled mRNA programs, we're prioritizing the development of safer, broader vaccine strategies like whole virus vaccine and novel platforms that don't collapse when viruses mutate, Kennedy said in the video. Yeah, infectious diseases experts say mRNA technology used in vaccines is safe, and they credit its development during the first Trump administration with slowing the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. Future pandemics, they warn, will be harder to stop without the help of mRNA. Let's see, Lorenzo, speaking up is needed. Be prepared to not benefit directly, but others will benefit. I am remember saying that way. I will assist base project. Oh, well, thank you, brother. Thank you. I'll just get a chance to read it. Thank you. That means so much. Lorenzo's a good brother, so I'm glad to have him on board whenever I get a chance to really do a deep dive into this and then see what happened when it comes to trying to help people. Um, this whole thing with RFK Jr., he's a joke. I can't take him seriously. This whole, once again, go back to said before, and Jed typed earlier in our conversation, it just, and I've said before, feel like Bizarro World. If you're a fan of comic Superman, he has a person that's opposite him that wears the opposite S backwards, Bizarro, which is the opposite of what Superman is. This whole world is Bizarro World. I can't even. He can't even talk. I know he has something wrong with him, and I can't. That's just like trying to. If someone like Mushmouth from the Bill, played out with the Cosby Kids. Or then the Bucktooth guy there, not Bucky, but not we were Harold, but that dude. Well, that's right. That's right. We got him already. That's Tim Scott. My bad. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. We got something like that. Oh, my man Wise. Little Wise. My man Wise. Oh, how you doing, brother? Okay, contact at Lorenzo. Okay, got it. Okay, I gotta write that down. So thank you. Thank you, Lorenzo. And this one too? Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be in touch, absolutely. I said I'm looking forward to reconnect with Lorenzo. Man, good brother, man. It could be the beginning of something. We don't know. Got to start from somewhere. What I'm talking about? Yeah, going back to RFK Jr. I can't. Lord Stephen, how you doing, brother? Mushmouth, right? I mean, yeah, imagine someone like Mushmouth trying to tell you about uh, the vaccine virus and COVID-19. Well, the Arbor think you should take a double shot. I think the entire fuck out of here. I mean, don't let the doorknob hit you in the ass in the way I please. I mean, take that back. Yeah, please let it do that. Like I said, it dawned on me we had somebody like that in the office, and that's Tim Scott. Tim Scott looks just like Mushmouth, as Lord Stephen just typed. He does. Compare them side by side. That's one person who loves to take it up the ass from Trump. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I can't explain anymore. The dude, I'll put it like this, going back to Tim Scott. If you're going to, and he has, support 47 and continues to do so, at least get something out of it. You know, get something out of it. I don't give a damn if it's a Cadillac grill. Get something out the deal. You got nothing. Pretending to run for the office of the presidency from the Republican Party, yeah, and was not associated with any type of girlfriend, boyfriend, dog, sheep, nothing. All of a sudden, you got this white woman on your arm, Snow Bunny. And all of a sudden, when you drop out the race, your Snow Bunny drops away too. Get the entire fuck out of here. What do you say, Lord Stephen? I'm old. That's how they remember. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm old ass too. But this whole thing is just beyond scary. It really is. It makes no sense whatsoever. And the fact that you just want to destroy everything. You want to destroy every part that we have in place in our government. Just destroy everything. Is it perfect? No, there's no perfect in anything, but it's what we had from the standpoint of government. And again, you get people who just should not be there. They should go somewhere and sit down. But where they're sitting down now, yep, got a nice check. I mean, I mean, really. And that's the damnedest of shame. Every black MAGO has been dismissed. They are not needed anymore. Correct. Yeah, I just saw Mushmouth with 47 over to the this other building they went to on the Capitol, whatever building it was, to go over it during the construction. And still, it's like you still here? I mean, Tim Scott, dude, don't you understand that you're being used? I guess he does. I guess he doesn't really care. What song say? Use me until you use me. Yeah. Lonnie Anderson, who died at age 79 after a long illness, gained her greatest recognition on the screen in the sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, playing Jennifer Marlowe, the intelligent, cool, and collected receptionist at a flagging Ohio station. Hugh Wilson, the former Atlanta advertising executive who created the program, which ran for four seasons between 1978 and 1982, said he picked Anderson for her good looks, but he added she insisted she would not portray Jennifer as the dumb blonde. I don't want to play this part because I think she's just here to deliver messages and is a window dressing, she told Wilson. Let's make her like Lana Turner and be the smartest person in the room. Wilson also made the receptionist the station's highest paid employee who refused to make coffee, take dictation, and type letters. I think women love the fact that I was sexy and smart, Anderson said in a 2011 interview. I know it sounds crazy, but people today, but in 1978, when we came on, not many women were doing both in comedy. She's right about that. Let's see. How you doing, Joe? It says in 2026, I'm voting for the base man, the cool man. Thank you. That is very kind of you. No, I shan't run for office because that's too the water's too dirty. The water ain't clean for this man. I'm telling you, can't do it. No matter how much soap I use or get some power wash to power wash my ass, it ain't gonna clean up that murky stuff in politics. I thank you for the comment anyway. Lord Stephen, you forgot blonde and busty. Well, that's self evident. We got that already. Going back, Jennifer, a model of calm and efficiency surrounded by incompetence, was the most often seen deflecting unwanted business calls for Arthur Big Guy Carlson, played by Gordon Jump, the station's bumbling general manager, and the attention of Herb Tarley, played by Frank Bonner, the boorish sales manager. All those suits were hilarious. Anderson's performance earned her nominations for 2 Emmy Awards and 3 Golden Globes. She continued the image of an empowered woman, albeit slightly naive one, with the role of Pembroke Feeney, a marketing and PR guru in 1983 film Stroker Ace, which starred Burt Reynolds as an arrogant racing driver. The action comedy was deemed a flop by public and critics, leading Reynolds to say that it was responsible for his career nosediving. The off-screen romance between Anderson and Reynolds led in 1998 to their marriage, his second, her third. The ceremony in a purpose-built chapel at Reynolds' Florida ranch was top secret, although pictures were released of Anderson wearing a canary yellow 7-carat diamond ring. I feel like Cinderella, she said, and married Prince Charming. Let's see. At the WKRP, they came out with was it Sonya in 227. Yeah, well, you talk about in that succession from standpoint of, I guess the next voluptuous woman. You want to look at it that way, going back to that type of thing. Was it Omar? I am voting for you, Chris, hands down. You always have my support. Well, thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Omar. Thank you for the support, but no, I will never run for office. No, I know you say never, but mm-mm. The only way, like others have done, like Jesse Jackson Jr. is going to do, like my man Eric S. France, who I had on this program, where I've had on what you call it, when I was doing CBI, running for the congressional second district. If I had ground swelling people coming after me saying you should run for office, that and you cannot ignore the people. That's the only way. Ain't nobody coming after me running for office. So I doubt that would happen. But I thank you for that anyway. It's just the water's too dirty. Lord Steve, you mean greedy? I don't know who you mean by who's greedy, but yeah, I've never had political aspirations before. Never in my entire life. I know we're joking around, but just sitting here thinking about it, I've never thought about going that direction. I guess because covering it all my adult life as a producer and eventually talk host, mm-mm, no. He meant Sandra on 227. Sandra was no blonde, and both them are different people. I know what you meant, Omar. I meant Sandra. I know, for example, of 227. I know exactly with a Sandra. You can't look. What I liked about 227 again, Marla Gibbs, who's from Chicago, went to the same high school as my mother and my brother at Wendell B. Phillips. In fact, my mom and my uncle are the first brother and sister that were in Chicago public school system being inducted to the Wendell Phillips Hall of Fame, and also, of course, the great Marla Gibbs. So I'm quite familiar with her work, 227 and everything else. Hal Williams played, of course, the husband, and Regina King as a child actress and went on to a very great career post that. And just get on, you mentioned about 227. What I liked about that show was it was great, it was original, but her integrity, going back to Marla Gibbs, because she said it in an article, in an interview, that they wanted to change the show. They wanted to remove the husband from the program and just have her raise the daughter by herself, but she did not want that to happen. There was a reason why they wanted uh, to have a husband, father, mother, you know, daughter in the household in the first place. They even portrayed this single parent thing, and she wasn't having it, which started the decline of the show from the standpoint of her and the management and stuff like that at NBC. We say, Joe, I'll vote for you over Venus Flytrap for the Marconi Radio Award. Yeah, you know what? I did not even, I didn't even watch WKRP. I wasn't in the radio yet. Even as a show, I knew of it, watched episodes of it, but I didn't really get into it. It wasn't until years later that I go back and watch it being involved in radio. So it took a whole new meaning for me. As a kid, I didn't watch it in real time. Once again, I watch it sparingly. But it didn't call to me that. The show did not call to me that. But when I got older, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a whole different vibe. So I just thought it was interesting of how people's integrity get in the way. I won't say in the way, but that's when you have to fight for what you want. It's parallel to Good Times. When you look at that perspective of how you look at from the standpoint of Esther Roll wanting, John Amos to play the husband, father, which he had played in a few episodes on Maude. And because they kept butting heads, meaning Esther Roll and John Amos with the writers, they made sure he ain't coming back. We'll kill your ass off. I mean, off. And you ain't coming back at all. This is going to be a back from the dead zombie episode. You know, but they made sure of that and that type of stuff. It just goes on. Okay, so Jennifer and Sonia were both self and greedy for the new look on the American female which still exists today. Jennifer and Sonia greedy? I don't know about that one, Lord Steve. I don't know that okay, let me look at Sonia for example. So Sonia, oh yeah. Well, it was about the attention, the laughter, that the the clothes and all the men's. Can you call that greedy? I guess you could. Greedy for men, greedy for money. I'll go along with that. Now, once again, I didn't watch I'm saying it's not 227. I didn't watch WKRP that much, so I can't compare and contrast just from what I read and from what I heard from the people. And once again, watching the show sparingly, I did go back and watch a few episodes, but I can't sit here and say I watched a lot to form an opinion. I just know of them and sparingly, like I said before. None of that I didn't know till after she passed away, Lonnie Anderson. And Lonnie Anderson and Linda Carter did a show together called Partners in Crime. I had no idea. I was watching some viral video and the promo had come out. Of course, the promo back in the day that they did. So you got to figure that's pretty strong to get those two ladies. Of course, Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, and Lonnie Anderson from WKRP, two successful shows on CBS. You put them together. Partners in Crime. I had no idea. I mean, where was I on that? I would have watched that show. Let's see. It was only on for one season and it came out in 1984. So the description. So when their ex-husband winds up murdered, Carol and Sidney set out to find his killer and eventually decide to run the detective agency that they had inherited from him. Partners in crime, again, Lonnie Anderson and Linda Carter. I had no idea. You never know. Ooh wee. So and now I'm interested. I'm maybe trying to go on YouTube and check out see some of these episodes. I had no idea they had come together as a team. So rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson. Thank you for everything you've done, contributing to the movie industry, television, and beyond. Uh, no original. No one can even come close to uh, someone like that. Sure, mean woman say what mine's is mine and what yours is mine still exists. Day is right. Well, I will go along with that. Yeah, depending on who says that. I don't hang around women who say that. They can, kick rocks. Yeah, that was even part of the lyrics of the late great Heavy D. Got none but love for you, baby. And you hear the chorus in the background. What's yours is mine, and what mine is mine. I'm like, no. And they even mentioned it in the beginning of the video too, when the females are sitting there, yapping and carrying on amongst themselves. But yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. No, that's not how this works. Hell nope. No. So again, thank you for this time to come on board with me for the precursor. Of course, the precursor is what it is. The precursor, the baseline. So join me on Friday, same base time, same base channel. So of course, that's 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Chris Base channel on YouTube, all one word with a period at the end of the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Make sure you do that. You got to. So again, thank you for taking the time out to be on the precursor. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you do something fun. Call somebody you probably haven't talked to in a while. Say how you doing. Your thyroid all right. Have some conversation. And yeah, see you on Friday. Good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Continue to be safe. Continue to be sound. Continue to be healthy. And most importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace. Long live the funk. More power to you. As always, in parting with you, remember, keep your head up.